The last thing that we're going to do is put a cover on our book that will tie shut, and you can untie it, and then you'll be able to open up your explosion book to see the artwork that's inside. So to set this up, you're going to get 2 pieces of thick paper that's going to be the cover size, and I want you to start by decorating the cover. So you could use square number 5 for the cover. If you notice though, the square is not going to fill the entire frame, so you might use markers to design around it. But remember, you also have 2 pieces of origami paper, so you could just wrap this in origami paper where you fold it around the sides, you glue it down, and then you would have the origami as your front cover. Or you could collage pieces together. So I think I'm going to start by gluing this down. And anytime you're trying to glue 2 things together, you always want to put the glue on the smallest piece. So because this paper is smaller, I put the glue on the back, and again I just did the outer edge and I left a gap between the edge and the glue so that when I press down, the glue hopefully is not going to spread out from the sides. And again, I want to hold down with the flat palm of my hand, and I want to wait about 30 seconds to make sure it's really going to dry flat. If you let go too soon, that's when your paper starts peeling off the surface. And then I think I'm going to collage my next piece with my scraps that I have left over. So I had this scrap left over, and I cut out a piece of my origami paper. So I think I'm going to glue those 2 down. And then I could collage with more scraps, or I could get my markers and color in the rest of the things. One of your covers, I would like for you to put your name somewhere in the design of your cover so I know whose project it is. Okay, so when I am done, the last thing that we're going to do before we attach this to the book is place the ribbon. Okay, so you're going to get a black piece of ribbon that's already been pre-cut, and the ribbon is going to go on the back of one of your cover pages. So the ribbon attaches underneath that back page, and then the ribbon pulls up over the top, and that's where you tie it to close up your book. So the side that doesn't have the ribbon, you're going to see most of the artwork. The side that the ribbon is attached to, you're going to see most of the artwork. The opposite piece, the one that doesn't have the ribbon glued to, that's the one that the bow is going to overlap. So you might consider that when you decide which piece to put the ribbon on. Okay, so I think I want to see the ribbon tied across the top of this one. So that means that I'm going to put the ribbon on this piece. So I'm going to turn this piece backwards. I'm going to tear a piece of tape, no bigger than my finger. Maybe half the size of a finger is all you need. You could just set that on the corner of your desk while you wait. Okay, now I'm going to take this ribbon, I'm going to fold it in half so I find the middle, and I'm going to put that middle of the ribbon in the center of the back side, and I'm going to tape that down in the middle. Then I'm ready to start to glue these to my book. So this is my book all squished up, and I'm going to be putting glue on the book page because the book page is slightly smaller than the cover. So I always want to put the glue on the surface that's smaller. And same thing that we've done before, squeeze lightly. You just need a little bit of glue around all 4 sides. Now I'm going to hold this as a stack, and I'm going to glue it down to where it's in the middle of that cover, meaning I shouldn't see book on the 4 sides of that cover. So I'm going to hold that down for about 30 seconds so it's got good contact. Then I'm going to leave the book in this position because I'm now going to be putting glue on the top of this book right here. Okay, so that's all the more glue I need. So now that I have the glue on the top of that, I'm going to place the cover so it's lined up with the bottom one. So I might hold that down with one hand, and now I want to slide that cover around till it's all lined up in one pile. And now I'm doing this standing up. I think it's easier to stand up so you can use your whole body weight and you can look over the top of it. And now I'm going to hold this down for at least 30 seconds until I get good contact to make sure things are holding in place. When you finish, the last thing that you could do is any last touch-ups with design work where you might draw with Sharpies. So like I'm going to come over here on my border and I'm going to color that in with Sharpie. I need to make sure my name is on one of the covers, and then you could open up your book and add any last details to the drawing on the inside of the book. Okay, so now that that's glued, then I would take my ribbon and then I could tie a bow around this to finish up my book. Might take you more than one try to get that bow. There we go. Okay, so that is the finished presentation for our mixed media project.